Everyone, this is Jennifer Sanchez. You are listening to the Wise Coffee Chat Show on WRMN 1410. Super excited to be here this morning with my guest. But before I bring her on and introduce her, I am Jennifer Sanchez, the founder of the Wise Alliance Network, as well as Women's Institute of Self-Development and Efficacy, WISE for short. And I am also the mom of 3 beautiful girls and a real estate investor. So been investing since 22. So if anyone's looking to sell their property in 30 days or less, let me know. I will buy it cash. All right. So that is who I am. Now let me turn it over to my guest this morning. Hello. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, Jennifer. Yeah, so I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm Vanessa Martinez. I am also a real estate agent and local investor, a mom of 1, and just taking life as it comes.
And a soon-to-be author.
To be author, that is right.
Super excited. So, Vanessa, thank you for taking me up on the interview. I have definitely, it's been maybe about a year that I've known you now, I want to say maybe, right?
Mhm.
And we actually met, for those that are watching, through the investment community. So she also invests in real estate. So that's why we connected, and just a lot of her beliefs are very aligned with my beliefs, which is what I really love about you. And I just was excited to say, okay, let's bring her on the show. Let's highlight her, promote her, and all that great stuff. So, but before we go into all of that, we have coffee here. This is the Coffee Chat Show, right? Tell me what kind of coffee do you like to drink? What are you type of coffee girl, or if not,
No
tea girl?
matter the weather.
Okay.
I'm an iced coffee girl.
No matter the weather,
It could be negative 20 degrees.
and you'll drink iced coffee.
An iced coffee.
And what kind of iced coffee? What's your go-to? Your favorite?
Yeah, so right now I've been super obsessed with the brown shaken espresso.
Oh, okay. Brown shaken espresso. Really?
It gives me the hit that I need, and it's not too sweet, but it's still,
It's good.
it feels.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I have actually had the brown shaken espresso. I think, yeah, it is pretty good. I need espresso. Like, I need to make sure there's. I don't know about other people, but we need some shots of espresso there.
Lately, I've been so self-conscious with health stuff, so now
Yeah.
I started drinking protein coffee. Still iced, but protein
For,
coffee.
yeah, they are selling that at the coffee shops. I've noticed it's becoming a thing. And I think it's coming because of social media made it a thing, because I remember before it even became popular, I was doing coffee and protein, as just a norm, right?
Okay.
Especially when I was training.
Yeah.
I see that you're running. I see that you're starting to get into the running life. Congratulations. What got you into that?
Funny enough, I remember I was going through a moment in my life where I was going through a wave of emotions, and I'm like, I need a channel to get this out, and I'm not sure what that is.
Mhm.
And all throughout high school, I just didn't like running and I didn't like cardio. But I'm like, I tengo tanta energía, I just need to do it. So I woke up one morning and I'm like, I'm gonna run a 5K today. Had I ever done it? Nope. And I was like, but men do it. How hard could it be?
Oh, okay.
So I woke up that morning. I ran my first 5K. Timing wasn't great. It was
Okay.
at 47 minutes.
47 is actually not bad for a 5K.
Well, funny enough, so I have a brother who's in the National Guard.
Uh-huh.
And when I told him about it, he's like, did you walk the whole thing? And I was like, no, like that was me trying and like wheezy. And he started laughing and he's like, oh, I run this like every single morning in like 7 minutes, like 8-10 minutes. Oh no, 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20
His
minutes.
miles is like 6-7 minutes. And I was like, oh my goodness. So then I was like, no, me tengo que poner las pilas. Like I need to like work harder at this. So I started doing consistently. I signed up for my first official race back in December.
Congrats.
And it was the day that it was the first blizzard in Chicago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I made it. And if I could run in these conditions, I could run in anything.
Honestly, I prefer running in the cold weather. I love running in winter.
Mhm.
Not that I'm running right now, guys. I'm not running at all. But I do prefer running in cold weather than hot weather, because when you're running in hot weather and then you're sweating and then you get hot, because I think scientifically, I might be wrong, someone correct me,
Uh-huh.
your body temperature goes up 20 degrees. So can you imagine if it's like 90 degrees or 100 and then 20 degrees it goes up?
Mhm.
And that's actually happened. Like that's actually happened
I
to
just
me.
really
Yeah, one year I was training for the marathon, me and my friend, and we were running. And during COVID, we were training for the marathon. And at that time, in the parks, there was no water fountains. Okay, no water fountains were operating on Lake Shore at all. Okay, and we always trained on Lake Shore. So the good things, a lot of run groups would be out there with Gatorade things and water stations. But I just remember, like, I was running and I was like, I'm I'm gonna faint. I told my friend, I was like, I'm gonna faint. Like I was near Gold Coast. I was like, I could feel it. It's really hot. There's not enough water fountains. I think I just ran out of water. And I was like, I need to go into downtown and find a little grocery store or something to like give me water. Yeah. So then we have an ongoing joke. Hey Patricia, we have an ongoing joke that she'll tell me like, but did you die? She tells me, "But did you die?" I'm like, "I did not die, but I felt very close to it." When you're about to faint, that feeling feels terrible,
and you can't.
and you can't breathe, and you're like, "I'm gonna faint. I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out." You know?
But you did it. So did you complete your marathon?
Yeah, I did. I did 2 marathons in my life. Yeah, that's why when I saw you running, I was like, "Oh, kudos to you." I remember thinking like, "I know that's a fun experience." Now, do I wanna do it again? Maybe not. Maybe not right now.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
like did it over it.
Yeah, like maybe I'll run a little 5K here and there. I have a friend that's doing ultra marathons now. Oh, Cynthia, that's in our book community. She's what's an ultra marathon? I think if a regular marathon's 26.2,
It's 50. The next
is it? Oh gosh, yeah, no, I can't do those. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I had a friend who was training for the 50, ran all the way to my house to make the 50. And I'm like, the fact that people do that for fun, it's insane.
Yeah, there's that one author, there's one author called, Goggins. Do you guys anyone know who Goggins is? David Goggins? Yeah, like, he does a lot of ultra marathons.
Mhm.
Have you guys ever read any of his books? Have you re Yeah, so in one of his books, he does ultra marathons, or I feel like there's something even longer than an ultra marathon. That one. And he talks about that and how at the end of the run, like he has a team and it takes days. So like there's like I guess someone following him throughout the whole experience, right? And yeah, and he said that at the end when he was done, he had to throw himself on his wife or ex-wife had to throw a blanket on the floor and he had to just throw himself on the floor and just let himself like be in pain and ooze and like he just said liquids. I was like, that sounds so horrible. But the man loved it. The man was like, I felt like I was changing. And I was like, this is so bizarre.
It is
Yeah, the
it,
pain that you put yourself through to do stuff like this.
pain and discipline.
Pain, yeah. And I think that's the discipline. It really is the discipline, right?
That drives you to
That drive
finish,
that drives you to
essentially.
finish. Yeah. Because are you gonna do a marathon? Is that something that you're thinking of doing?
Listen.
She said, listen. Okay.
The 5K was like my thing. I'm like, I've never done it before. It's been my max so far. But this past weekend, I decided, I'm like, oh, let me up what I've done so far. Let me
Okay.
add in an extra mile. I did 4, but
Mhm.
not only did I do 4, I shaved my time by 12 minutes.
Oh, very good. See,
So like I
12
added a
minutes is a
whole
lot.
mile. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's not common to just knock 12 minutes off a run. No. So that just shows you, I think it's also mind, right? What do they say? Mind versus matter, right? Like it's really a mental fight when you're running. Like you will be surprised how you can push yourself further with your mind because your body will follow.
Exactly.
But it's really your mind that stops you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. If anyone's ever considering a marathon, just know people will pee on themselves, poo on themselves. You will see all types of things on the course. I see. Have you ran a marathon? Oh, o- okay. so So we see one of our behind the scenes gentlemen here that's helping us out. He says that he's helped his mom train for marathons. So he's nodding his head like,
He's
yes,
seen it all.
he's seen it all. So, how did you get Vanessa into the real estate realm? Because I know that you are a very intelligent woman, right? When I saw your resume, I said, "What?" So I'm very curious to know your background and how you got into real estate.
Yeah. So I actually went to school for math. I had a wonderful opportunity. I was able to get a full ride scholarship to go into the STEM field. And at the time, I actually didn't know what engineering was,
Okay.
which is what I ended up focusing my career on for like the next 10, 11 years. So when I went into engineering, it was more so starting to make connections with the people that you admire
Okay.
and learning the qualities that they have that make them successful in their field.
Oh,
And that's when I quickly started to realize that it's not about what you know or how you good are in your skill set, but it's what is it that you're doing to continuously adapt and push yourself to really break those mental challenges. And the same with running. I mean, I took that same skill set, and it's when I want to start a new endeavor that I've never started before. I'm not starting from something that's brand new, but it's like that mental experience that I've gone through so far. So with real estate, I was very happy with my career. I was working remotely. I was able to take care of my daughter. I had, gone up in what to say, role and position. So I was doing very well. Um, but I wanted more. And I'm like, I don't know how much more I'm going to get from a 9 to 5. And I had remembered when I was growing up, my parents unfortunately lost their home in the '08 crash.
okay.
And I remember that very vividly. And one of the things that I remember the most is the determination and the perseverance my father showed as he was moving through that. My mom never had to worry because if there was one thing that we knew is that my dad was going to figure it out.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
and it took a couple years, right, before we were able to get out from that. But
Sure.
now my dad started investing into real estate, and my mom's like, "What do you mean you're going to invest in real estate after we
Wow.
just lost a house?"
Yeah, that's scary.
And so when I went through that moment, I realized that when he was doing better there, I'm like, "Oh no, me dijo." He's all like, people build wealth through real estate all the time. One bad
Absolutely.
move doesn't mean that it's a bad decision, moving forward.
Yes.
And now, I mean, they have a couple properties and they're living in their dream ranch and they're not
Oh,
worrying about anything because the rental income covers, their
that's
lifestyle.
nice. Yes.
And I was like, okay, I want to do the same because I've gotten through my fair share of layoffs and I'm like, that doesn't feel good,
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, if I could build something stable, a rental portfolio where I could still do the things that I love and not have to worry about what happens in the background if life falls apart. I want
Exactly.
to be able to do that. And my daughter is learning it. She's 5 and she's been picking up on a lot of the real estate stuff.
No,
So
that's good.
I could only imagine how much further she's going to go when she's our age.
I love that we're setting an example for the younger generation. And I also love how your parents, especially your father, right? To lose everything, because I remember the '08, I was trying to buy property in '08, and I remember watching like the houses, and I would remember sit there like, oh my God, people lost their homes, right? And that's why there was so many foreclosures and right. Um, but for your dad to be like, nah, we're gonna get back into real estate. It wasn't, it's not an end all be all. So many people like fail once and never want to do it again. That's it. Oh my God, I failed. And that is a pretty traumatic situation to lose a home, right? So for your dad to be like, no, we're gonna get into real estate. We're gonna do this even bigger. Like that's when you see grit and tenacity and it's admirable, so and it's a good example for his family, all right, to not give up because in real estate we know you can make any little wrong move in real estate can cost you. But we will be right back after these brief messages, so you guys don't touch that dial.
Newsflash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by KFC. Two bills in the Illinois House would require companies to disclose when personal data is used to set prices, known as algorithmic pricing. Supporters say it would boost transparency and allow consumers to opt out, while industry groups argue it helps deliver competitive prices. Democratic lawmakers have filed a bill requiring IDOT to include passenger rail frequency goals in the state rail plan. Supporters envision hourly trains from Chicago to Champaign and expanded service to Carbondale, Memphis, and other cities, calling it a first step toward major rail expansion. A new statewide paint recycling program has collected about 60,000 gallons of leftover paint in its first 2 months. Officials say Paint Care now has more than 340 drop-off sites across Illinois offering free recycling. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your News Flash.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, they're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Today, sunny with a high near 34. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 19. Looking ahead to Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 42. Thursday night brings mostly clear skies with a low around 29. On Friday, sunny conditions with a high near 59. Currently, it's 27 and mainly clear. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, we are back on air, having such a great time with Vanessa here, and everyone that's watching and listening. Thank you so much for being on here. We're on WRMN 1410. Super excited. You can go learn more about WRMN 1410 at WRMN1410.com. And then, of course, you could learn more about me at wisealliancenetwork.com. So going back to Vanessa. So we were talking about how admirable it was for your dad to, and your parents to lose real estate and then get back into real estate. So then for you, now that you're in real estate, what does that mean for you?
Yeah, so for me, going back to that situation, I remember, so my parents didn't have any family here. It was just them two. They immigrated here and they just figured like essentially here. And being able to see how much he has been able to build on his own knowledge, on his own skill set, I was like, oh, it might have, if had he had more support, he could have been so much further, right? Not to
course.
negate everything that he's done.
Sure.
So real estate to me is, if my family, God forbid, were to be in a situation like that again, or we went through health issues, because health issues, they don't
Yep.
discriminate. They don't
They-
care how much money you got,
For sure.
where you come from, who you are. I want to be able to offer support financially, emotionally, anything that I can, to make sure that my parents, my family, my daughter can still move through life with dignity, with resources, with support. So that was my motivating drive to get into real estate. And then now as I go, I'm like, well, it would be nice to, you know, have X amount of units so that I could do X, Y, Z. Um,
Yeah, if this much cash flow I get, this is how much extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I get it.
like one of my big goals, I'm like, I really want a pink Porsche. I want to live my Barbie dreams, but I'm also, delaying gratification and saying, well, what is it going to take for me to get there? How many units do I need to
Yeah.
to acquire, in the next few years for me to be get that, enjoy that, and feel like I earned it?
Yeah, don't they say 90% of millionaires made their money through real estate?
Mhm.
Right? Is it 90 or 95? I might be wrong, but I know I know it's in the 90s, right? So obviously, if most millionaires have built their wealth through real estate, right, then that tells you something about real estate, right? So I 100% understand what you're talking about just knowing that you have that cash flow coming in. It is a lot of delayed gratification.
Absolutely.
This is nothing that happens overnight. So if anyone thinks like, "Oh, this is going to happen overnight," it's a get rich quick scheme. Absolutely not. You hustle
Mhm.
hard, and you might make mistakes along the way, at least from what I've been learning, right? And there's time, but once there's going to be moments that it's going to get easier. But I've had a breaking last week. I had a breaking moment. I
Mhm.
was so upset. I was so mad. I was-
What happened?
because I had when you're starting off in real estate, sometimes you don't your money gets tied up. You're limited on funds, so you're not going to like spend as much as you would when you have like 20 properties, right? Right now I'm at 3 doors. So I'm kind of like, dang, I have to take on some of these jobs, like the cleaning, right? Like, I don't want to pay a cleaner. I will, but not for this particular job. I was like, no, I got to do my own cleaning, and it was an inspection with one of the towns.
Okay.
I had no time. I had a funeral and then I had a birthday all in the same day, and I couldn't find time. So I said, "Oh my god, I'm gonna have to pull an all-nighter. Like I'm gonna have to be there from 11." And I literally was there from 11 to 3 in the morning cleaning a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in the south suburbs. Mind you, I live in the northwest suburbs,
Uh-huh.
right? So I was just like, I need to suck this up and do it. And I was just so mad driving there. I was so upset. I was like, "Ugh, I can't like it was not necessarily the activity. It was just like how quickly I didn't have that support in that moment. So I was like, why did I get into this? Like for a second,
Right.
like, why did I get into this? This is so frustrating. And it's just me being frustrated in the moment because you take a lot of the brunt, a lot of the work up front, like especially when you're starting off. So I was just, I've had my moments of weakness in this field, but everyone keeps saying it gets easier. It gets easier. The more assets you acquire, it's gonna get easier. And I'm like, okay, I'm trusting everybody.
And that is so funny that you say that, because I've heard the opposite. I've heard the more you acquire, the more responsibility, the
Oh
more
my God, it's so much
circumstances you're going to
responsibility.
come up to. They're like, if you're not successful enough and nobody is suing you, you're not doing it right.
I
And
don't
I'm
want
like,
to.
I don't know if
I
I
don't
want
want
to
to
be
hear
there.
that. I don't.
I don't know if I'm ready for
I don't
that.
want to hear that. But it's true because the more you get, the more people want to take advantage of you, right? Like this, you're more. Yeah, I can see that, and you're dealing with people's lives. You're you're not just. It's not like, oh, I'm selling chicles. I mean gum. I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm not just selling a product. I'm dealing with people's livelihoods, right? So, and I'm experiencing this now. It's like, well, you're dealing with like a turnover or a vacancy, or like someone died and then they can't live in the property no more. It's like, oh my God, like I didn't realize that, yeah, landlord life seems glamorous, but then when you're dealing with like people's lives and their stuff and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, people really, this is for real. Like it's a big responsibility.
It is, and it takes a certain type of character, like a balance where you still have to make sure you stay empathetic, but then also have good discernment, right? Because not everybody is going to respect the business that we're building. We're small, essentially we're small businesses, right? And we rely that our tenants are going to take good care of our property, that they're going to pay their share on time because we're not huge corporations. They don't pay. Unfortunately, we take
It
the hit.
falls on us.
We take the hit.
Yes.
And we have families too to feed.
Yes. And what sucks is that in Illinois, they're not landlord friendly.
Mhm.
So it's so important to make sure you protect your asset and your home because, yeah, I mean, I've heard of horror stories where they'll have squatters in a home for a full year. Can you imagine paying a mortgage on a property and someone living there for a full year and you cannot illegally evict them? I would totally figure out a way to get you out there in the most in the most no, shut your mouth, Jennifer. But you know what I mean, right? Like I don't think I would be able to handle it. But yeah, I mean, so you're in real estate, you're investing in real estate. What's your you grew up what part of the city? Are you from Chicago?
I'm actually from the northwest suburbs.
Okay.
I grew up in Carpentersville and I lived there until I graduated from high school. I
Okay.
went to Dunny Crown. I'm still really close with a lot of the teachers that
Oh,
work
nice.
there, so that's really nice. And then after that, I went to school at Judson University. That's also in Elgin.
Oh, nice.
My
Okay.
parents moved to Elgin or South Elgin, and then right after that, I bought out my first 2 unit in Elgin. House hacked it, lived there for
Nice.
a couple years, and then I bought a single family home where I'm at now. And now I have a very delusional goal this year. I'm like, how am I going to scale and 2x that or even 3x that this year? So I want to be able to acquire 5 units this year. And I'm working very diligently to make that happen.
It's totally possible. I could see that. So especially with the industry or the groups that we're revolved around, I've seen it. So that's awesome. Very, very God bless you. I'm taking it easy this year. I did projects like crazy last year and I'm like, nope, 2026 is not what I'm gonna focus on. I'm gonna
Slow
take
it
it
down.
slow. I'm
Yeah.
gonna slow this down. But kudos to you. So can you explain for those that are listening, what is a house hack?
Yeah, so house hack can happen in a couple different ways. I have friends who have purchased their house and they've, gotten roommates and they're able to split the mortgage among themselves. Or something that I did, I bought a multi-unit property. I lived on one side and then I rented out the other, and most of my mortgage was covered by the tenant.
That's wonderful. So your mortgage was like how much? How much did you have to pay out of pocket? Just curious.
Yeah, so I think my mortgage was like about $2,200 and the tenant was paying $1,900.
So there you go. You're paying like, can you imagine just paying $300, $400? That's so amazing. Yeah, I love that. I love that you did that, and I think a lot of people don't take advantage of strategies like this enough, right? So real estate. Now you're doing another project that I'm excited about, right? You're doing your real estate thing. You're also a real estate agent and an investor. So I want to make sure I differentiate the two because or do you call yourself a broker? Well, what is the correct terminology?
I just call myself an agent.
An
Yeah.
agent, okay, because I'm just like, okay, I'm only an investor, so I'm like, I forget how the agents like to be referred to as. So you're also doing some new projects with me, actually, which I'm excited about. So you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, so Jennifer and I were co-authoring a book, and it's about how God has transformed our journey through various circumstances. So we're very excited. I'm very excited to be able to glorify God in all these seasons of my life. Um, and when I first started writing the book, I was like bawling. I was like teary eyes. I was like, I have so much that I need to let out. But during all of these emotions, I realized I was the closest to God
Oh,
because He knows our sorrow. He knows our pain. He knows what it's like to be brokenhearted. He knows what it was like to be humiliated and beaten and um, rejected, right? And that's what we've all gone through. And I'm like, I share in that pain right now. And to me, it was a great honor to feel the lowest of the lows because I know it wasn't even 1% of what he felt. And through that, I'm able to share my story, share how I've persevered through some of the most challenging times of my life, and be like, I did it because I turned to him and he guided me through.
I love that. I love I'm waiting on I know all the ladies that are part of this project are submitting their chapters right now and I'm like excited to read and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is going to be exciting." So we're doing a photo shoot this weekend, which I'm really excited about and shout out to Carlos Medina who's helping us out from his and I'll know his company a little bit more, but I know they're from Fabian Studios. They're going to be doing the photo shoot, and Alex Salazar is going to be the videographer for this. So I'm super excited because we're putting a little documentary together with all the ladies.
I didn't know that part.
Yes. Girl, I said it so many times.
Where was that?
So we're gonna put together, some video work, and really highlighting the ladies. We're gonna do a photo shoot for the cover of the book, which I'm really excited about. And it's really all coming together this book project, and it's coming together really easily, which is what
Oh.
I know God's in control because it's just so easy. And I'm like, all right, this is way too easy. Why?
It's coming with
It's
ease,
coming with ease,
certainty.
with certainty. And that's when you know it's of God, right? When there's peace and certainty and it just flows. It just flows. So it's flowing and I'm so happy that you're part of this project, Um so what are you looking to expect or looking forward to now that you're by May 1st, that's when the book launch is going to be. How are you going to see yourself as a book author? What are you hoping to get as an author?
The title hasn't exactly hit yet. I'm like, I know I'm writing and I've written my whole life, but I've never published anything. And so I'm still like marinating what it's going to feel like when it's actually published and it's in my hands and we start talking about it. But I think the arching theme here is that I want to use it as a way of outreach, right? To inspire, to really get our focus aligned with what our purpose is.
Yeah.
And who decides our purpose? The one who died for us.
Yeah.
Nobody else. Don't turn to the world. Really just seek truth. And there's no better truth than Jesus. And I really want to be able to show, not tell. I want to show through my life experience. And when people read that book and our stories in there, I know it's going to transform. I know it's going to move people. I was just talking about it with my brother's girlfriend. Sweetest little thing. They're high school sweethearts. They just graduated. And she came to church with me for the first time with me on Sunday. They were doing baptisms in that service, and we were, applauding. And the service was ending, and she's like so antsy in her seat. And she's like, God is calling me. And I'm like, calling you to do what? And she's like, I need to go get baptized. And I'm like, yeah, like, I guess we could do it the next time they baptize. She's like, no, I need to do it now. And I'm like, your family's not here. And she's like, this isn't about my family. This is about me. I was like, I grabbed my stuff and I was like, let's go then. Like they're about to finish. Let's go. And she's like going and I'm running in my little high heels. And I'm just like, let's go get you changed. I will talk to the directors. I will get you on there. Just go.
Wow.
We did it. She got baptized. I filmed the whole thing for her. She was overpouring with joy and love and just radiating. And when I started talking to her afterwards about my book, and she's all like, I am so glad you were the person that was here with me. And I'm like, I feel honored to have been here with you in such a special moment. And I think for sure the next time you do this, she has to be part of that
The book.
co-authoring. Yeah.
Okay, y'all keep telling me like we're gonna do another one. We're gonna do another one. So I'm like, okay, is there gonna be another? Is there gonna be another book that I'm gonna put out there? Because um I definitely didn't think there'll be another one. Like
Mhm.
I thought this was gonna be a one and done, but I swear all these ladies are like, you're gonna do another one. You're gonna. Who said? I'm just saying, unless Jesus says it.
How did you get this idea?
So I always knew that I was gonna publish a book. There was no doubt about it. I'm already contributing author in 2 different books.
Right.
Today's Inspired Latina and Hispanic Star Rising. So I've put my chapters in there. And I knew that I've always been about women empowerment.
Yeah.
Always and forever. I will always I love guys. You guys are great. My team right here is awesome. Love you guys. But but my deep yearning is to support women and help empower women. So because I've always done that and I've always created a platform for women. And I know how much authorship changed my life because when I became an author, that was a tool that helped me get into the coaching sphere and really empower women with retreats and conferences and all that stuff and coaching itself.
Mhm.
That I said, I need to provide this opportunity for women. And I've always said Wise Women Empower Women because that's the name of the organization,
love it.
Wise, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, you know what? At the end of the day, we're gonna put a book out, and we're gonna invite the women, and whoever comes, that's who God wanted to be part of this book. And it's happening. And then even my publisher was like, "This is only number one. You're gonna do number two too." I was like, "Oh my God, okay, right."
Volume 2.
Yeah, volume 2, but it's okay, wherever it goes, I'm just thankful that you're part of this project. We're going to be having May 1st is the women's conference at Chicago Theater Works. So I'm super excited. So I'll be putting more information on the event, but save the date. May 1st is going to be the women's conference / book launch where you get to meet Vanessa, hear her story, watch the documentary. We're going to do a bunch of great things. That's where we're going to talk about the book, and I'm going to bring other speakers as well. I've done 3 women's conferences in my life. I've done 8 women's retreats. I've done a bunch of networking events. I've coached, yeah, I think I'm at like 60 or 70 women that I've coached, in my lifetime. So I know that for me, like to do another conference, I'm super excited about. And I'm excited that you're part of it, because I get to highlight women in this. It's not about me. I don't like things to be about me. As much as I like to talk and joke around, I really enjoy letting other people take the light and be in the spotlight, honestly, because I know I'll create the setting, but I want other people to step into it. That's always been me.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. So what's going on with you? What are the plans that we have moving forward? Like what is in the trajectory for you in real estate? I know you say you want to do the 5 properties, you're doing the book project. Any other things that you're
So I have a couple things planned. I'm very big with women empowerment as well. So I'm actually combining some of my favorite things and hobbies. So I've created a running club that runs in downtown Elgin, doing
very
a kickoff at
nice?
the end
Good
of
for
March.
you.
It's going to be a little big party. We got a DJ video. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
And the purpose of that is that so we could start building a community to start training for 5Ks that are going to happen throughout the season. And then I'm starting a prayer group for women with a local pastor that is trying to integrate into the community. And I'm like, well, this could be a great idea. Mornings, moms who have kids in their school, let's meet at a local coffee shop. Let's talk faith. Let's pray. Let's create our own little, community where we could do that. And then I'm also creating a women's business entrepreneur group, also in Elgin, because we don't have anything like that out there.
Okay.
So where we could bring people who are business owners, agents, anybody that's in the field. And it's just to really have women inspire other women and continue growing and continuing just
I love that
creating
you're
a path
doing
like that.
I love what you're doing. I love that you're doing it in Elgin, right? Especially because you said there's not enough resources for people in Elgin or women in Elgin. So kudos to you. It takes a lot of boldness, right? and energy and desire, right? And being obedient, right? Being obedient if that's what the calling is. And you have my support. So if I can go to those run clubs, I'll go.
Appreciate it.
And I'll support you and promote your stuff. Absolutely. So now if someone wants to get in touch with you, right? Let's say someone wants to buy a property, because I'm not an agent. So y'all, I am not an agent. All right. I'm not trying to help you buy a house. I just want to buy my own houses. But if someone wants to buy a house and they want to go in the market, like how would they reach out to you? How can they get in touch with you? What can we give them?
Yeah, thank you. So I actually do have a very good goal. I want to be able to help 30 families this year get into home ownership. You could reach me at pearlofrealestate.com. That is my website. I put in resources for first-time home buyers, sellers, and then investor knowledge. And then, of course, all my contact information is on there.
So it's Pearl, say it again.
Pearlofrealestate.com.
Pearlofrealestate.com. So you guys heard that. If you guys want to reach out to her, remember, I love that name, pearlofrealestate.com. And you can be able to find more information on Vanessa there. And then, of course, just get to know her more, reach out to her. I think this is exciting. I'm excited for you. And I'm super proud because also, like, you're a Latina,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're a single mom, right? With baby. And you're doing all this on your own, which kudos to you, because there's not a lot of women that can do what we do and how we do it, right?
Yes.
And it's an inspiration for other women. That's really bottom line, what it is, right? Because if you could do it, then someone else could do it.
Oh, I love that you said that.
Mhm.
I really just want to be a very good role model for Eliana, who's my daughter. I know
Mhm.
she looks up to me at anything I do. And if I could get her in that mindset that, hey, we're here to build relationships, to serve others, and still build a legacy as women for our family, we can do it. We can do it all.
That is awesome. Building the legacy is exactly what we're trying to do here, especially as women. And then, of course, if anyone wants to learn more about the book project, right, we are launching May 1st. Chicago Theater Works. I'll be putting more stuff on my website about that. But I'm super excited, about everything that is happening in 2026. And of course, and the Run Club, when are you looking to do the Run Clubs?
So our kickoff day is going to be March 28th, and it'll start in downtown Elgin. So anybody's in the area or wants to be part of that, come. It's going to be so much fun.
I'll be there. What time?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. March 28th. Is that a Saturday?
It is.
Okay,
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. All right. All right, guys. Well, you guys are watching the Wise Coffee Chat on WRMN 1410. Thank you for being with us, and you guys have a great rest of your week. God bless.